different circumstances when needed, but the overall approach, that's not changing. So, we just got to, and look, you got to say, I'm not a big believer in when you really look deeply into the one player away, like when you look into that narrative, there's one guy away, that's really not realistic, because what you're saying is that one player, you might sign that one player in March, and that one player looks good in black and white on a depth chart in March and April, and all through the summer. What if that one player is not available in October, in November, in December? Or what if you're saying one player, you're saying one player on top of all the other players you already have. So what if that one player is available in October, in November, December, but all the other players are not? So that's why I think you got to be a little careful about we just got to take that one player. No, I don't really, I'm not a big believer in that.
So it's a quarterback-driven league, and we know that one player is Jared Goff for you guys right now. How important is it, or where are you guys at in terms of the decision, but also maybe in the conversation of, hey, we don't want him to get into his last year, we want to extend him, versus having to use the franchise tag in another year? Is this something that is a priority for you guys to extend Jared Goff?
Yeah, obviously Jared did a great job, and we do, collectively as an organization, we do have a sense of the direction that we want to go and proceed with Jared and other players that are eligible for those discussions. But out of respect of the player, out of respect of our process, we just kind of keep those conversations internally, and once we have updates, we'll definitely make sure you guys know.
Michael Badgley signed. Is that a position that you guys feel comfortable with him as the kicker?
Yeah, Badgley, he's done a nice job. He's been clutch. He's throughout his career. He's done what we've needed to do. So he's been good. Now, with all positions, there'll be competition. And Badgley understands that. He knows there'll be competition. But right now, I understand that, he did a nice job. He signed, but he's still going to have competition.
And Brad, when we all know that you're on right now because you're down in Indianapolis talking about the combine, the draft is going to be here in Detroit. We're excited about that, but you're no top 10 pick. You're not picking, obviously you've earned the right to be able to pick later in the draft, 29, and same thing in the second and third rounds. How much more of a challenge is it to find impact players, guys that you want to fill some holes with when you're drafting later and later?
Yeah, I would say I felt comfort in that, and I have a lot of comfort in not only picking later, maybe not even having a first-round pick, back in my tenure with the Rams. So, and it's actually, I find more excitement in it. I feel when you're looking at the top 10, it's just kind of hard to mess up, in my opinion. You got really good players, and you're trying to decide, between, Turks and Caicos and Grand Cayman. You're probably not going to be mad at either one, but I think it's a lot more excitement when you're back there on the back end, because you got to deep dive it a lot more. You got to really heavily scrutinize it, and it's a lot of fun. And back my time with the Rams, we found a lot of good players in those rounds. Not even in the first round, but on day two. And I think we've proved that we can do that here as well. So I don't have any angst about not having that high pick. I'm actually excited.
Lions general manager Brad Holmes, we appreciate some of your time, Brad. We'll catch up before the draft. All right.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Thanks, Brad.